Hello, everybody. All right, get ready for takeoff. Today we're flying into new territory, actually old territory, of the labor shortage, and so that's the direction we're flying into. And this is part 6 of a 6-part series. I filmed the other 5 all in one day, back to back, boom. And I just got real tired, so we're going to conclude it in part 6. This is the conclusion. I saved the very best for last. So why are people not wanting to work? Whether it's Gen Z, millennials, no matter what generation, especially Gen Z. So what is the what are the contributing factors to why employers can't find workers? And this is my take on it. And all of this that I'm sharing with you can be backed up. For instance, we're going to do a wrap up real quick. The first thing on the list is the low birth rate. Okay? When my mom was growing up, she had 8 brothers and sisters. So there was a healthy labor pool from which to pick from. Yeah. I mean, we had no problem finding workers back then. It's not that the work ethic was different. It's just that there were more people to pick from. And it's gotten shrunken and shrunken as the decades went on. But we had a lot of baby boomers and we had all these people. Very healthy population. And so eventually that population got older. And eventually then the Gen Xers came along and there was quite a few of them. We still had a pretty healthy population, right? And then families started to shrink. We had, whether it was divorce or people just can't afford to have kids or whatever. I mean, in the 90s we went down to 1.5 and then we got into the negative. You can look this up. Low birth rate. Then you add to the fact abortion. That's another 70 million kids gone. Those people aren't fixing your roads and your bridges. They're not making your burgers. They're not stocking shelves. They're not buying consumer products. They're not buying any smartphones. That's 70 million smartphones we didn't sell. And so they're not paying the taxes we need to pay for all the consumer spending, all the social programs we've grown to love. Medicaid, especially Medicaid and Medicare, right? Those taxpayers are gone. So, and that may be part of the reason we've got inflation going on, because we're printing money like going out of style. So we don't have this pool like we did. And that's first on the list. Second, we got to move along here. Is obesity. Not just obesity, but all the other health-related problems because of obesity. We're not even healthy enough to go to work. We're popping a lot of pills. Who do you know isn't on some form of medication? Antidepressants, you name it. Everyone's on meds. Oh my gosh. If we're not morbidly obese, we're on tons and tons of medication. Diabetes is 100 million diabetics in the United States. You look this up on the CDC website. I did. Look it up. Or just go to your grocery store and take a look around. Tell me what you see. So, we're not even healthy enough to go to work or productive enough. Another contributing factor is lack of education. I said, well, how can that be? We got more students going to college than ever before. We have a student loan crisis. I get it. Yes. What are they teaching in college? Anything practical that you can take and get a job? Probably not. And I met a kid, grown adult, over 21, can't even change a light bulb. True. I said that shocked me. Can't change a light bulb. This is the society we're now living in. Either we're overweight, unhealthy. We don't have the skill sets to take those jobs either. There's another contributing factor. We just lack skills. I mean, they can't change a tire, can't check the oil in your car, can't Can't even change a tire. Can't even change a light bulb. That's bad. That is really, really bad. And that's contributing to the labor shortage. We don't have the skill sets to take some of these good jobs. We're overweight, or we haven't been born. So if you can't find workers, now you know why. Then there's the disenfranchised men. A lot of men, they don't have a wife and kids to go home to. What's the point? See, they don't have that incentive. Grandpa had an incentive when he had grandma to go home to. He had grandma's picture in the cockpit of his plane, 32 missions in 2 years. My dad had an incentive. But today's young men don't have that. Women don't date them, they're not interested. And so men have no incentive. None. So you got that contributing to why you can't find workers. So today is the conclusion. I just wanted to give a brief overview of the other contributing factors. Yes, we've got the welfare state. You've got to compete with that. We've got lazy people. We've always had that. We've always had the welfare state. But the new stuff that's coming up in the last couple of decades is young men they're just not dating. Girls won't go out with them. There's no reason to go to work without a wife and kid at home. My dad had an incentive. Grandpa had an incentive. So where's the incentive for men? So this is the final conclusion, and I'm going to play a segment from Dr. Phil, and you're going to love this. You're going to love this. Again, Fair Use Act. I have to say that so AI picks this up. And so, yes, we're going to do commentary on what you're about to see. Okay.
Plumbing and carpentry and all of that stuff, they're aging out and nobody's taking their place.
Working in the trades is not worth it.
I've got an experiment I want you to do.
All that just pull it out by hand, that's what the gloves are for.
If everything you do is just what you want to do, grow up. I don't want to listen to you prattle on about everything you're talking about every day.
I was working
Okay.
in trades for 3 years as an electrician, and I quit that job. I was waking up miserable every single day. Every day I was going to the job site, and there was people twice my age complaining about their bodies. Their bodies are completely totaled, and they're still working. It's like, what the bro? Hell no, I don't want to do that. Bro, open your mind.
Well, joining us now is 22-year-old Mikey, who you just heard from. And also joining us is Ari, an owner of a successful law firm. He says to be successful, young adults should be pushed to get advanced degrees, not be plumbers and coal miners. You're an electrician.
I was, yes, for 3.5 years.
You could wire stuff up.
Yep.
All that.
Yep.
Did you make a good living?
I wouldn't say that, no. I was using that entire paycheck until that next paycheck came. So I didn't really have the control that I wanted and the money that I wanted, because every paycheck that I had went right to bills and right to living expenses.
Yeah. Did you not make the money you wanted to make because you weren't good at it? You didn't go up the ladder and do everything you needed to do to be entrepreneurial because you didn't love it? Or could you have done better?
Well, yeah, I mean, if I wanted to go through that path of working those 40, 50-hour weeks, I could definitely do that. But I saw that I didn't really want my life to be like that. You know, I kind of wanted more time to do what I want when I want, instead of being locked down to a job just so dedicated to money. Like, money is the only thing that everyone worries about,
Yeah.
you know?
Ari, you work a lot, right?
I do.
Because you have your own law firm.
I do. As a litigator, you put in a lot of hours, and just
Okay.
advanced degree, it doesn't mean you're going to work from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and that's it. As a matter of fact, getting that degree.
Okay. That kid made some interesting points. He saw what he was saying is he saw the men ahead of him. The older guys have been there for a while, breaking their backs. They got health problems. They can't be with their kids and their families, and they can. And he said, "This is all you're making after 15 years." He said that too. So he became disenfranchised himself and going, Why would I want to get up and go to work as an electrician? Somebody else can do that, but there is nobody else. And that's the problem we're in. So when this kid decided he didn't want to do it, there's no one else to do it. I'm sorry, folks, there is nobody else. The idea of saying, well, somebody else will do it. But people haven't been born, and there's nobody else going into the trade. There is nobody else to do it. And that's the problem we're going to have. For instance, if you have a restaurant and your walk-in cooler breaks down, you could be out of business. Why? There's nobody to come out and look at it. You call various companies and we're booked up and well, we might be able to come out in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, you don't have 3 weeks. 3 weeks, most of your employees would be gone. Those servers live on tips. In 3 weeks, hey, they're living hand to mouth. So those servers are going to be gone. If you're closed long enough, you lost most of your wait staff. After 2 weeks, they're probably out of there. Probably within a matter of days, with the cost of living the way it is. They have to have a paycheck that day, right now. And so, yeah, it's bad. And like I said, it's not just your walk-in cooler. I heard a story about a Steak and Shake. They had a plumbing issue. They ended up closing their doors because every plumber they called was booked up for weeks. Yeah, so it's like we can't get anybody out there. We're short-staffed. And this is a major problem. It's going to get worse. And I can go on and on. It's like automotive, diesel mechanics. If we don't have diesel mechanics to keep those 18-wheelers on the road, you don't get your food. The food stops. The economy stops. You don't realize how serious this can get. I'm serious. I mean, this can get really, really bad. Man, we got to move along, or we're going to end up doing a part 7. Because I wanted to wrap this up. Let's see. Tired of listening to this guy.
So I can work anywhere. That's why I pursued online business. Because I can be my own boss, I can live the life that I want, and I can do what I want whenever I want.
Are you making more money that way
Yes, I am.
than you were the other way?
Yes.
Congratulations.
So that's working for you.
Yeah, it's working. It's just a lot of people wouldn't say it's working. A lot of people will say it's lazy. But in reality, I work every single day. I work 7 days a week, but it's just different type of work that I'm passionate about because I can do the things I love. That's the main thing that I see. My main message out there is that time is more valuable than money.
The numbers, they don't lie. Numbers show that you have higher life expectancy the better your education is. I'll give you an example. Someone who hasn't finished high school has a 14.2 year less life expectancy.
No, I don't buy that.
Master's degree. It wasn't always this bad, by the way, and it's going to get worse and worse. These industrial jobs, blue collar jobs, great jobs.
I gotta skip ahead here.
The occupation determines the outcome.
You spend your money, it'll come back eventually.
This part
If all
is
else
funny.
fails, I can always marry rich, so then I'll be rich forever. How am I supposed to find something I actually want to do for the rest of my life if I don't like any job? There's not one job you can suggest to me that I'm going to be like, oh my god, yes, I definitely want to do that for the rest of my life. Does it look like I want to get up at 6 a.m. every day for the next 60 years? No, I'm too pretty for that.
Well, I had a little surprise for Lucy when she landed in Texas, and it involves some of the on-the-job training with Texas master plumber Roger Wakefield. Let's take a look.
Oh, this is good. This is hilarious. I saved the best for last.
Before we get going, we have a message from Dr. Phil that we want you to watch, so take a look.
Hey, Lucy, Dr. Phil here. Welcome to Texas. I understand that you just don't ever want to do a 9 to 5, especially a job where you get dirty. Awful lot of your generation is that way. They just don't want to get down in there and put in a day's work for a day's pay. But I've got an experiment I want you to do because I'm going to hook you up with master plumber Roger Wakefield. And we're going to get you to go out and see what it feels like to do a real job and accomplish something. But come on, you can give me one part of one day to get out there and get your hands dirty and do something where you say, hey, I did that. I got that done. So give it a shot, Lucy, and I'll see you in studio.
I was not expecting that. I've never done anything like that.
Oh,
Clean my
that's good,
toilets
that's
at
good.
home. $105. If they break, I might cry. Or I can watch like a YouTube tutorial.
A broken nail.
Learn how
Oh,
to
imagine
plumb
that.
correctly.
Poor
Find
girl.
out.
Boo-hoo-hoo.
Hi there.
Hey, I'm Lucy.
Lucy, I'm Roger. How
Nice
are
to
you?
meet you. I'm good.
Dr. Phil told me that you wanted to do some work today. But first, you're going to want to change clothes, okay? Come on back and meet me out here.
Oh wow! Watch what they do to her. This is so cool what they're gonna do.
This looks more like it.
It's not like it for me.
We're
She's
going to
gonna get
install
her
a tank
hands
down
dirty.
here.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I need a hole dug. I've got some safety gear for you.
these do not match the outfit.
Okay, safety gear does not always match. This hole needs to be dug from side to side, all
Yeah.
the way to the back, 25 inches deep, okay?
You want me to dig it?
Yes.
You're okay with that?
Yes, I do. Yes.
I'll
yes.
have to do it.
Okay.
Yes. Come on. You can do it. Look at her. Oh, she's got to
I'm
do a
gonna go
little bit
stick
of
to the
work.
gym.
So look at this other thing.
Sounds good. Can't be worse than that.
See, we got a toilet in here.
Oh,
It's got a little clog in it.
oh, this is going to be
So
good. I
just
saved the best
open
for
the lid,
last.
take a peek at it, and I got a bucket here for you to look.
Ew.
It's okay, you can have it.
Oh my gosh.
Just raise the seat up.
Ugh.
So all that, just pull it out by hand. That's what the gloves are for.
You owe me $105 for my manicure right now. Ew. It went in my hand. It actually went down the glove. It's good. I got it all. I can't even get anything else. It's good.
Are you ready to go ahead and fill out the job application?
No.
I'll tell you what, you really did pretty good today.
Well, thanks.
Your nails survived.
I know, right? That was my number
see?
one priority.
Yeah.
So after being here today, do you have a little more respect for people in the trade?
She
I do
seemed
have
like a
way
nice
more
lady.
respect for what their jobs are like. It's hard work, but I hope I'm never back here ever.
She actually did the work. Believe it or not.
All right, now, Lucy, you say the whole experience wasn't that bad, right? I mean, you got something done. If everything you do is just what you want to do, grow up.
Yeah, but
I mean,
that doesn't. But
you don't just get to do what you want to do.
that doesn't make any sense to me because we all have one life. Why aren't you going to wake up and do what makes you happy every single
you
day?
don't get to do everything you want to do every minute of every day. I don't want to listen to you prattle on about everything you're talking
No,
about
that's
every
what
minute of every day.
No, I know.
No,
But
sometimes you do what you want to do. Sometimes you do what you need to do.
100%. But that's with everything in life. But why would
Of
you do
course.
something that you hate the majority of the time?
No, you shouldn't.
And then
I
do
think
what
when you grow up a little more and get married and have your own children, and you're spitting this at them,
I wouldn't be spitting that at them.
and you're telling them you don't have to do what you don't want to do. You don't
Follow your dreams.
You know, yeah, just follow your dreams. You know what I'm going to tell them to do?
Yeah, but how are you saying
I'm going to tell
follow
them.
your dreams?
I'm going to
like,
tell
oh,
them.
follow
I'm
your
going to
dreams.
tell them to follow me because I'm their leader when they're in the home.
No.
You know,
Okay,
and I'm going to teach them
that's
to work
100%.
hard.
But at the end of the day, my father.
No, but hold on.
Well,
and I'm going to say this: everyone in this
Yeah.
room, we're all somewhat
kid.
entitled. We live in America,
Yes, 100%.
and we all have some sort of entitlement.
Yes. But
Right,
the one
wrong,
thing-
or indifferent.
But
So
let me.
but
So
the-
you take your kids to Guatemala to build homes, to learn a strong work ethic. I mean, you're teaching them, to give back. That's some of the value system that you're teaching, right?
yeah. Some years back, my brother's been a big part of this. He's my partner and everything, and we've got an awesome group with Little Lambs International, and we're building an orphanage home, and we bring the kids. My 9-year-old has been 8 times. 8 years in a row.
Wow.
Other than COVID.
Now he's old school thinking. I want you. He's
We bring
old
them
school
down
thinking
there
here.
primarily to help But at the same time, it serves another purpose. Like they see.
It's not
how the
relating
rest of
to the
world
young
lives.
kid. He's
Yeah,
not
They
seeing
see
it.
that you can't just be handed everything and do what you want to do. There's 5-year-old kids carrying bundles of sticks that are 30 pounds through the mountains just to cook their food at night.
Yeah, that's
They don't get
yep,
to choose.
yep.
They don't get to choose what they want to do.
Exactly.
So that sense of entitlement, like that's got to go in this country,
But
or
here-
we're all gonna fail.
That's one of the definitions of maturity that I learned a long time ago. Maturity is when you learn that sometimes you do what you.
It's sad that they're just, like I said, they're thrashing that kid. Oh man, yeah, we're gonna end up doing a part 7. There's no way we're gonna finish this up. So they're just really running that kid down because they can't understand. Well, he's playing on his phone and he thinks he can make more. He does make more money. He is doing what he wants. But they say, well, sometimes you got to do what you need to do. Well, that's true. The kid didn't deny that. But they just, I guess they're jealous of the fact he gets to play on his phone, sell digital marketing stuff, and make more than someone who's busting their butt in the hot sun. And there's no one to take their place when they're gone. I have a friend that works for the power company here. And when he's gone, there's no one to keep our lights turned on. Yeah, our power company. We're going to have an SHTF situation when there's no one to take their place. When some of these older guys leave and their power goes out, we don't have enough people to get the power turned back on in an efficient amount of time. Instead of taking just 3 days to get the power restored in town, it might take 6 weeks because they don't have enough workers with that skill set to keep the power turned on, to keep the lights turned on. You don't think about that. What if there's no paramedics? A family member has a heart attack or a stroke, collapses on the floor. You call 911. They don't send anybody out. There's no one to send out. They don't have anybody at that time. It could be an hour, 2 hours before they are able to send anybody out. They may be on another call. There's not enough paramedics. Then that could be true. Or they just don't have paramedics at all. What happened if we didn't have paramedics here? Well, we have a fire department, true. They could kind of fill in, and they do. But what if they're already on another call? That could happen. What if we don't have enough volunteers over there? That could happen. And that is happening, actually. And I don't know how bad the situation is here. I don't think it's that bad here yet, but in some areas it's very bad. They have no paramedics. In one Wisconsin town, they had no paramedics. We're going to have to go to a part 7. I thought I could wrap this up in part 6. So I have to turn it into a 7-part series. Because I promise you in part 7, we will finish this off. I really wanted to finish this off today, but it's just a matter of, there's so much ground to cover. There's so much ground I still want to cover just on the area of social media contributing to the labor shortage. Another thought is when I looked at the content that I put out there, and I'm going, I could have turned this into a motivational, inspirational video series. I might reshoot some of these videos, and instead of factoring it to the labor shortage, I'll tie it in how you can change your life, make your life better, get out of poverty. Because when I looked at the content I was putting out, everything about social media, I mean, there's a world of opportunity here. This right here, what I'm doing is proof of it. I'm acting on it, just doing this with you. If I grow my audience big enough, like I said, start making enough money. We're going to finish up Dr. Phil. There's another video I want to show you. He was a former televangelist, and he's going to break down some numbers too. This was from 50 years ago. But it's some gifted insight into why content creating can be profitable, where Jim Baker gets his business model, where Kenneth Copeland and Benny Hinn. Yeah. Let's go ahead and finish up Dr. Phil real quick. I can't believe it's almost up to 25 minutes.
Do instead of just what you want to do. You know, if you've got a child sitting at a table and you say, you know, you need to eat your vegetables before you eat your dessert, and they say, well, why? Why would I do that? Because I don't want to. That's because they haven't learned yet that you do some things in order to have access to other things. And there's a whole generation that hasn't learned that because their parents have made it possible for them to do just what they want to do. There's a reason that employers today say they'll do it themselves before they will hire somebody that's Gen Z. They say those are the ones they fire first, they hire last. They just simply aren't willing to do what they need to do to make a business work. And these jobs can provide a lot of families a decent living. If you look at average income, construction managers, $112,000 a year, truck drivers, over $100,000 a year, elevator, escalator installers and repairers, $100,000 a year, power line installers, repairers, $78,000 a year. And these are averages. These aren't people that really bust it. You know, one of the things that I talk about is consequential knowledge. If you want to survive in this life, you figure out what you love. I mean, find something you're passionate about. And if it's important to society and you develop vertically.
Okay, enough of that guy. Turn off the laptop. Yeah. This is going to be, so he's correct, but it's sad how they just thrash that young kid. They think, well, you're young, you're immature. What is he, 22? I think it's because they can't stand the fact that he is out there doing what he loves and loving what he does. He's making more money than they are. They can't stand that. I think it irritates them. They think this kid feels entitled. The kid doesn't feel entitled. He just waked up to a world of opportunity that's been afforded to him. He's like going, well, I don't want to do that. He did do it because he needed to, but then he looked around him and see what's happening to the other guys, and so I don't want that to happen to me. I want my life to be better. I want it to be different. And so he chose social media. He chose the internet. Say, hey, here's a way better way to make more money than I'm making now. Provide for myself. And the kid says, yeah, I'm working 7 days a week, but he's doing what he loves. But he's still working. But these men can't stand it because he's a whippersnapper. Comes, and the other guy in the suit can't stand it because this kid thinks college is stupid. And so this whippersnapper is just making fools of them. Without it, he's not disrespecting them in any way. They just can't stand the fact that he's making more, he's happier, and just they can't get it. They don't understand it. And this kid's not alone. He's only 22 years old. I'm proud of him. I'm not laughing at him. I'm going like, yeah, go for it, dude. I mean, he's working, but he's working smart. He's doing what he loves. He's providing for himself. He's not taking government entitlements. He's not taking food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, all that stuff. He's working for himself. He's working smart. So I don't belittle this young whippersnapper. I don't. I want to be just like him, in fact. I don't belittle him at all. He's just working very intelligently. And we're going to do a part 7. I can't believe we're going to do a part 7 because there's a little bit more that I want to show you. So stay tuned. See you in part 7.